Hello everyone. This is John Jenkins, and I got a video for you today. So I just had to clean up my entire apartment because it flooded again. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is that um yeah. So I've been thinking about this at least. I've been thinking about this at least since I was disowned by my family for life in 2008. I've been thinking about this at least 2008. So basically, what happened, what really got me thinking about this was I'm recording this video. I'm actually recording this video on Father's Day in 2026, which is basically 2 days after Juneteenth in 2026. Anyway, like I said, so anyway, I was walking back home from the library yesterday, and I had a book on. Do I have that book around here anywhere? I think it's somewhere over there. So I got a book on slavery, from the library, and I was also scanning an art piece from my DeviantArt account. So anyway, I was walking home with my book and my with my book and my book and my sketchbook, and obviously my jump drive as well. And maybe this is TMI, maybe I'm talking too much, but anyway, I was walking home from this book, from the library with my stuff, and I crossed this children's playground on Winthrop. So this black woman, I guess selling, she's selling Kool-Aid inside the children's playground. She's got her table set up, and she's selling Kool-Aid in the children's playground. And I guess she has a wig on because yeah, like I said, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see why I said that in a second. So I guess she has a wig on or whatever, a straight wig, like a yaki wig or something like that. I'm not really well versed in wig culture, but she's got a straight wig on. So basically she calls me a bum because I have nappy hair. Basically, she says I'm a bum because I don't have straight hair. So obviously that was a hit to the ego, and I've been called a bum many times because I do not have straight hair. But the point of this video is that you know. I'll probably never get the chance to say this in any other venue other than I'll probably never get the chance to say this in any venue other than YouTube. But like I said, you know, if you can, the point of what I'm saying is if you can, yeah, I mean, the point of what I'm saying is that it's not even close. It's not even close. It's not even close. Like, even with the flooding in this apartment, the constant flooding, what I have in this apartment is super valuable. And like I said, if it were close, if it were like 50-50 or 51-49 in either direction, where you could just sort of where you just sort of, you might be able to finesse a slight edge in either direction. Maybe it would make maybe make a little bit of sense to spend all of your money on $50 or $100 haircuts every week. It might make sense to be spending all of your money on cosmetics and haircuts and Nike clothing and Reebok clothing and stuff like that. Stuff like that. So if it were even close, it might make sense to do that. But it wasn't even close. Like, if you saw how I was living on my 40th birthday last year and how I was living on my 41st birthday, I mean, I was objectively living better than 99% of Americans. If you look at it objectively, not just nominally, but in real terms, not just nominally, but in real terms. So the point of what I'm getting at here is that being able to pay your bills every month, being able to have enough money to pay your bills every month, uh, and also have savings at the end of the month. So being able to have enough money to pay your bills every month is worth so much more than being liked by Americans. I mean, it's worth so much more than being liked by Americans. Uh, and you know, uh, uh, so yeah, it's worth so much more than being liked by Americans. And like I said, uh, yeah, like I said, you know, the thing that people don't understand is that the thing is that people don't understand is that I live better than 99% of Americans. If you have a rock solid housing subsidy, and you have access to healthy food, healthy grocery stores and stuff like that, and you have a great bank, you know, I guess you would call it too big to fail bank or whatever. So, and if you have like access to a great gym membership, I've been at LA Fitness for about LA Fitness for about 7 years right now. So, and if you have let's see, if you have great amenities and great, you know, great access to the lakefront. I literally live on the North Shore. I literally live. I've never worked more than 2 years of my life, but I live right next to the North Shore. Uh, uh, so if you've got all this stuff, and you're paying 0% taxes every year on income taxes. So if you've got all this stuff, like if you've got all that stuff together, you live better than a billionaire in real terms, not in nominal terms. So this whole thing where having less U.S. dollars means that you're richer. That doesn't translate into real life. That doesn't translate into real life. So if you've got all that stuff plus you're paying 0% in taxes, 0% income taxes, you live better than a centibillionaire in America. Um, and you know, but that being said, I'm leaving tons of money on the table. I'm leaving tons of money on the table. I've got 2 years. I've got 2 years of responsible credit. I just passed 2 years of responsible credit. If you've got 2 years where you're constantly paying your credit card bill on time every month, you don't have any revolving credit. You don't carry a balance from month to month at all. You are constantly just paying off in full before the month is over, before the due date, then you then you then you then you can flip that. You can literally, I mean, if you've got 2 years of sponsored credit, you might qualify for venture capital. You might qualify for a business loan. You might qualify for a starter mortgage to get business to get started in real estate investing. You might qualify for a better apartment. You might qualify for a grant or a scholarship. You might if you've got 2 years of responsible credit, that opens up all kinds of doors for you. That opens up all kinds of just doors for you. And on top of that, if you've got I've got at least 10 years of paying my rent every single month, and I've got about I guess you could say I got like 7 years of paying for rental insurance, and 7 years of paying utilities. I've got 7 years of paying utilities every month, and I never miss a month. So if you got that kind of financial record, I'm leaving tons of money on the table. If I were more aggressive, if I were more assertive, I'd be running the table right now. I'd be doing all kind of crazy stuff. I'd be starting successful businesses and stuff like that, and I'd be traveling the world. But that's the type of thing that you can do if you are capable of paying your bills. Now what I'm about to say, I'm not saying that every black man does this. I'm not saying that every black man does this. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that this is how all black men are. But that being said, I live in Uptown Chicago. I live in Uptown Chicago, 4800 Kenmore, in Chicago. Um, so I live in Uptown Chicago. Uh, uh, I've lived in Chicago for almost 13, almost 12 and a half years right now. I've lived in Uptown for almost 12 and a half years right now, and I've lived in Chicago basically for the past 37 years. For 37 of the past 41 years. For 37 of the past 41 years. So I know the situation here. I know the situation here. So the living in Uptown, what I see this often. Now this is gonna sound like an exaggeration. This is gonna sound like an exaggeration, but I see this often in Uptown. So uh, living in Uptown, I see black men, and this is not an exaggeration. I see black men, and they've got the latest. They've got the latest Nike tracksuit on. They've got the latest Nike tracksuit on. They've got the latest Yeezys, latest Nike tracksuit, latest Yeezys. They've got 50 to $100 haircut with the graphics, with the laser fade and the fidget spinners or whatever they put in their hair, and they've got they've got the $50 to $100 haircuts every week, and they've got they've got all foreign everything. They've got all European everything. They've got the Balenciaga. I haven't seen a Balenciaga mouthpiece yet, but I'm looking for it. But yeah, like they've got all foreign everything, all European everything, but they live in a tent city on the lakefront. The lakefront is right down the street from where I live. They live in a tent city on the lakefront, living in a tent, no indoor plumbing, no protection from the elements, no protection from the wind and the rain and the tornadoes and all sorts of stuff, and the monsoons that we just had a few days ago. So they have no protection from the elements. They're living in a tent city, or they're living in a bus shelter on Broadway or Sheridan or Lawrence or whatever, or they're living in a homeless shelter in Uptown, or obviously, or they're like me, or they're lucky enough to be like me, and they're on Section 8, which is another issue. So like I said, I mean, it's not even close. I mean, being able to have indoor plumbing, and being able to pay your own bills, every month, so that you can have indoor plumbing and electricity in your home, so that you can pay your electric bill, so that the electricity is not getting shut off, and being able to pay your rental insurance, which is legally required if you're an adult in Illinois, and being able to pay for your food, being able to pay for quality food, not donkey eggs, like I like to say, not donkey eggs, but real quality food that's nutritious and covers all the basic food groups. Being able to eat the food pyramid, being able to eat the food pyramid with the grains and the fruit and vegetables and the fiber and even some a little bit of sweets and snacks and stuff like that. So being able to live a healthy lifestyle and pay all your bills, that's worth a lot more than being liked by an American. And I'm like I said, I'm not saying that every black guy does that, because there's a lot of most black people are middle class. So and that's my next point, which is that most black people are middle class. Most black people are middle class. Most black people have never been on welfare before. Most black people are middle class in America. So, well, at least a majority of black people in America are middle class. So, so Actually, I'm not sure. It might be a little bit, slightly in the other direction. It might be a slightly more Black Americans were born who have spent food stamps before. I'm not sure. I did read a statistic about that. I forgot what the statistic said. So, but anyway, a large percentage of Black Americans are born middle class, have never been on welfare, never had food stamps, never had Section 8. So that being said, if you're like me, I came from the projects. I came from the projects. I came from Rockwell Gardens in Chicago, the projects, the real projects, not the Jersey Shore projects. I came from the real projects. So I came from the project. So, a lot of times, and this is not an exaggeration. This is not an exaggeration. A lot of times, if you came from the projects, it was a simple choice. When I came from the projects, it was a simple choice. Either I was going to basically it was either I was going to dress cheaply, or I was going to go to prison, and that's the trap. Either I was going to dress cheaply and pay my bills on time, and not end up getting evicted 10 times, not end up in bankruptcy court every year. Either I was going to be able to pay my bills every single month, or I was gonna have to go to prison. So basically, for black men who came from where I came from, basically they would just say, hey, I'm 15 right now. I'm gonna sell drugs at 15, and then I'll go to prison for about. I'll get caught. I'll get caught with a half an atom of weed or whatever, and I'm going to get 20 years in prison, and then I'll get out of prison at 35. That's 20 years away, and then after that, I can start making money. I can get into the rap game, or I can get into the Senate Oils game, or I can get into the welfare to work, whatever. I can get into the trucking. I'm pretty sure trucking doesn't accept people with convictions, but I can get into whatever type of business that I'm allowed to get into after I get out of prison. So that's what a lot of black men from where I came from. That's their idea. Just sell drugs. Just sell drugs to pay for the cosmetics, and then you do 20 years, and then you get out, and you just do whatever you can do to make ends meet. But I didn't do that. I was like, hey, I was afraid of prison. Growing up in the projects, that put the fear of prison in me. So I was like, hey, if you, because like I said, being able to pay your bills, if you and that's the thing that black guys, that's the thing I had to learn myself personally, is that if you can't afford to pay for $50 haircuts every week, $100 haircuts every week, and the Nike tracksuit, and the Yeezys, the brand new Yeezys, and on top of that, still be able to live indoors at the same time. If you can't pay for all that stuff and live indoors, you shouldn't be going to parties anyway. You shouldn't be having kids anyway, because why? It's like, if you can't pay for all that stuff and live indoors, then you shouldn't be popular in the community anyway. And that's something that's helped me as well, is that I really shouldn't be out there, because I'm not living that life. I can't support that lifestyle. So that's all I want to say, is that like the main point is that if you can get 2 years, if you can get 2 years where you are paying your bills on time, where you are paying your credit card, not you don't pay the minimum, because if you just pay exactly the minimum, you're gonna get hit with maximum. If you just pay the exact minimum, you're gonna get hit with maximum interest charges, maximum interest charges. So don't pay the minimum. Don't pay exactly the minimum. You need to pay the entire balance before the due date. Before the due date. So yeah. So like I said, if you can do that every month for 2 years, then you have something that you can flip into something else. Like I said, I mean, it does sort of help me. It does sort of help me on that path because like I said, if you ever, I mean, like I said, if you ever have the audacity to dress unfashionably in the black community, you're out for life. If you ever dress unfashionably, vote Republican, support welfare reform, if you ever choose not to fornicate or whatever, if you do anything that's unpopular in the black community, you're out for life. I mean, they're never gonna forgive you for that stuff. So, not to mention if you what's up? Yeah. So, full disclosure, I was disowned. By my family in 2008, stuff like that. So I know that first person. I know that from first person perspective. I know that from personal experience. So like I said, that's all I want to say for this video. Have a great day. I went over 20 minutes for this video. I didn't mean to, but I had a lot to say. And like I said, most of the stuff that I'm telling you about this, most of the stuff I'm telling you on this video, on this channel, is stuff that I'll never get to tell anybody else in the future. I'll never have a day where I'm able to just talk about life and talk about my experiences. But this video is therapeutic. This channel is therapeutic because I can talk about stuff that other people will never learn about. So have a great day, everybody, and enjoy the weather. Like I said, I just got flooded again in my apartment. I cleaned it up last night, and today should be today's Father's Day right now, and so thank goodness I didn't re-injure my back when I was cleaning up all that water. But yeah, so that's all I want to say for everyone, and have a great day and goodbye.